Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a U.S. News Update, October 28, 2023, episode 84. Some of the main stories we'll cover: U.S. military, 5,000 boots on the ground in Gaza. No money? The deep state wants to take us to war. And what's happening with the banks and the gold? Weapons grab. We'll get into it. War powers and draft. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscriber, Hal Turner, Canadian Prepper, Zero Hedge, Bull Polny, Daily Mail, Reuters, Burning Platform, Best in Taylor, Israeli News Live with Stephen Bannoon. So let's get started. There's a lot of stuff going on that's absolutely evil, perpetrated by a shadow U.S. government and a shadow U.S. military, not working in the best interest of the American people. Okay, I have a Patriot. I'd like to say thanks for supporting my channel, Roses and Rags, Margaret J. from Lexington, Kentucky, and the McCons from Fulshire, Texas. So I have a Patriot subscriber who says they're coming for our guns, our weapons. There's a lot of fake incidents going on, like that one we just saw in Maine. The Democrats have a one-track mind. Yeah. Disarm American citizens. I have a Patriot subscriber. My daughter was in the U.S. Air Force, and we thank your daughter for her service. And she was stationed at Ramstein in Germany. Now she's home in Texas, and she says she felt safer in Germany. I would bet the shadow government has let in about 500,000 CCP military into the U.S., and then the shadow U.S. military flew them all over the U.S., as evidenced by Monkey Works. And then in the past 2 years, since the JB clown show has been sitting in the chair, millions of jihadists have come through. In the recent weeks, it's been primarily Hezbollah from Lebanon and other jihadists from Iran. Yeah, and now they want to take our guns. I have another Patriot subscriber. I'm glad to hear the ship, the New Jersey, is being refitted. I remember it from Chulay in Vietnam in 1967. We could hear shells passing overhead. That was a great group of U.S. military who served bravely in the Vietnam War. I have a Patriot, and we thank you for your service. I have a Patriot subscriber. It's probable that Russia and China are going to together declare war on Israel. I believe it's going to come about November 5 to 6. Well, we'll pray against that for sure. I have a Patriot subscriber. I understand now what I've been bringing out in my recent videos. I understand. The evil ones wanted Israel to be put in place so they could build a third temple and bring in the Antichrist. And it wasn't God who brought about the land of Israel as it currently is located. That's correct. I have a Patriot subscriber. The third temple is according to the Balfour Agreement from Rothschilds, who are a Zionist federation. Absolutely. And I had another Patriot subscriber talked about, I brought out that Christian Zionism, believing that a third temple had to be built in Israel to fulfill the Bible, doesn't jive with the New Testament where we are told many times, especially in Hebrews, that Jesus, and many call Yeshua, paid it all. He fulfilled the law. There's no need for a third temple or any more sacrifice. Jesus gave it all. And I had a Patriot subscriber who talked about the Christian Zionism being taught by, what's taught by a lot of pastors in America, but he named Pastor John Hagee. He's located in San Antonio. And yes, that's true. I used to live in San Antonio. I've been to his church, and yep, that's going on. Okay, now we're getting this. Have you heard this on the mainstream media? That the U.S. military, we've been hearing they're being deployed, but not exactly where. Well, Hal Turner's intel, and then that goes along with the last video I put out with that information from Marine Corps Commandant Marine General Smith about Marines being located off of Israel in water. And I believe Hal Turner's also had intel, and I had another source for it also, about the U.S. Army Delta Forces going in yesterday, Friday, on a Navy ship on the water side of Gaza, boots on the ground. Now, Hal Turner is confirming we have 5,000 Marines and the Army Delta Special Forces in Gaza, in combat, boots on the ground. And Hal Turner called the Pentagon to say, what do you say about this? And the Pentagon said, no comment. So that's going on. So now we have going on all over the U.S. We have protests, and we had an especially large one in New York City by the Orthodox Jews. That's the Hebrew bloodline who practice Orthodox Judaism based on the Torah, not the Talmud. That's for the group that Jesus said, you say you're Jews, but you're not. Your fathers are vipers and serpents. So, but at any rate, New York City, next to Israel, has the largest Jewish population in the world. And thousands came out to protest against the war in New York City just a couple of days ago in favor of Palestine. So that's going on. And now we have banking things going on. So we have banks. So the deep state, when the money goes away, and according to Polny, we can expect a stock market crash, just like we had in 1929 on Monday. I mistakenly said it was Halloween. Halloween's actually Tuesday. But yeah, he says this will be a very Black Monday. Now we, American citizens who are awake, understand that this current financial system we have is going to go away. Then we'll have the new Nasara system come online. And I look for it very soon, November or December. And in my recent videos, I also had that information from multiple sources, including Michael Jaco, who believes that President Trump will be back in the chair by December. So we'll talk about some things. Okay, so first we'll talk about the banks. So Canadian Prepper, and also I think Reuters is reporting this. Jamie Dimon, and he is the CEO of one of the world's largest banks, J.P. Morgan Chase. And these are part of the 13 bloodline families, announced this week that they have done a filing so they can sell shares in this bank beginning in 2024. They have to file so many months ahead. And they're going to sell 1 million shares. What does that tell you? Maybe they need some more liquidity in their bank. And now we have this. The Fed, according to Zero Hedge, is reporting this week, just this week, and we know it's most likely tied to this war situation going on, cash money in the banks, the deposits, went down. They set a new record for withdrawals, and $84 billion was withdrawn. And this is the Fed reporting this. And now we have this from Daily Mail that we have many banks closing, and he's naming a few: Fifth Third Bank and Citizens Bank and PNC Bank. And they're closing 3 locations. One is located in Texas. Now, most of these are along the East Coast. Some of them have a West Coast location. So, Fifth Third Bank, and this is a very large bank, is closing 19. And Citizens Bank is closing 7. And then PNC is closing 3. But these are only the tip of the iceberg. There are something like close to maybe 3,000 banks that are like this. Now, I bank at a Texas bank that I use the advice of Jim Willie, PhD economist from Costa Rica, who said, get out of the big banks and get into a small regional bank that's in no more than 3 states. And the bank I have chosen operates in Texas and Oklahoma. So I believe the smaller banks will be very secure with the local people's money holding them up. Okay, we have this. So across the U.S., we're having protests in D.C., New York. They're in other parts of the world, London, Canada. We're also having them in California. But we have many groups in the U.S. protesting, and they're all protesting in support of Palestine, not Israel. And there's no appetite by the American people for war, none whatsoever. And so we have this. Gold. I think Hal Turner brought this out, is up to 2,000. And we have oil prices going up because we have this Middle East situation is up to 5%. Now, I had one source recently, I think BP Earthwatch brought that out. It could go up to $300 a barrel. If that happens, we'll see per gallon $12 to $15. So we see this is not a good situation for the American people. So that's going on with the economy, and that's what the deep state does. When they get in financial distress, they take us to war. Okay. Now, oh yeah. So here comes the weapons and the ammo grab by the shadow U.S. government. Canadian Prepper and I think that was Reuters. Yeah, they're reporting this. Okay. So the U.S. Commerce Department has stopped export of all civilian guns and ammo. You know, the kind that we would buy at the gun stores. But, oh, they're exempting Israel and Ukraine. So let's read this together. What do our lying eyes tell us? The U.S. government is not going to sell the civilian guns to other nations, and they're also not going to allow them into American gun stores. They're going to ship them all out of the U.S. to Israel and Ukraine. Why? Because we have a shadow U.S. government actively working against the American people. So that's going on. Yeah. And it includes civilian handguns and shotguns and optical sights and ammo. Yep. Not going to be in American citizen gun stores. Going to be sent out of this nation to Israel and Ukraine. Why? Because the evil and corrupt U.S. government doesn't have any more U.S. military weapons and ammo to give to these two nations. And we know what happened in Ukraine. The weapons and ammo went to Ukraine. The black market was sold. They're back in the hands of Hamas, who are now fighting U.S. military in Gaza. And part of the sales of the weapons then brought money back to the evil and corrupt politicians in D.C. and also shadow U.S. military. So, yeah, that's going on. And so, Canadian Prepper's bringing this out about an expected stock market crash. He also gives the date that Polny brought out, October 30, Monday. So that's going on. So the U.S. Commerce Department is stopping the export for 90 days. That also means no weapons in American citizen gun stores nor ammo. So yeah, that's the shadow U.S. government. So now we'll cover this. Best and Taylor, they were confirming that the Orthodox Jews and Hebrews in New York City were demonstrating in favor of Palestine. Now, let's look at who constitutes the shadow U.S. government. Who is that? Okay, we have Congress. We have 435 members, House of Representatives. That's so many representatives per state based on population. We have the Senate. That's 100. That's 2 per state. Now, remember that we had in November of 2020 when the JB actor wearing a mask, and the Biden family says that the flesh and blood JB passed away in 2019. So this was always an actor for the last presidential campaign who campaigned from his basement, who drew no crowds, while President Trump drew tens of thousands of American citizens at every stop he made. Congress in January of 2021, they had to vote who won the election. Now we had 100, it was spread across the House and the Senate, who stood up to say there's too many questions going on with this election, and we need to take 10 days to gather more information. That's, I believe, per the Constitution, but it's definitely by law. And the majority, so if we have 535 total. If 100 wanted to wait, we had 435 who voted yes to JB. So it's not going to be hard, is it, to identify who the traitors are in Congress. We just go back and get the list of individuals who voted for this. That'll be easy. So we see we have a Congress made largely up of traitors, and the JB is an actor wearing a mask, and the KH, I don't think is even the real person. I think the real person's already been arrested for treason. But she's not eligible because she wasn't born an American citizen. We have individuals purporting to hold power from we the people, and that isn't true. This actor has zero political power from we the people that would normally be acceded to a president via our Constitution. But this actor wearing a mask has zero political power. This individual, zero political power. And this Congress, who's already demonstrated to our lying eyes that the majority of them are traitors, not operating under our Constitution nor our laws governing different things. So clearly, we have a Congress that also does not have political power given to it by we the people, nor do these two individuals. So saying that this actor wearing a mask can send a war notification, war powers, the actor wearing a mask has zero power under the War Powers Act because this is a fake individual. So, and Congress is made up largely, we know now, of traitors. So you want to take us to war? I don't think that would be a good idea to bring it up. Not unless you wanted to run real quick and try to hide in your bunkers. But what about the 120 million Americans who were organized into militias? Don't you know or understand? We understand you're pretty evil and pretty stupid, but don't you understand that the location of your bunkers is known? Maybe you want to go into exile in foreign nation states, but no war. There is no appetite by the American people for war, and no draft and no money to Israel or Ukraine or Taiwan. We the people are sick of all of our money being stolen out of our nation for war. Stop it. The American people are sick of it. We're not going to tolerate. Oh, and you talk about a draft? We, the American people, are not going to put our sons and daughters on the blood altar of war. Now, you evil individuals purporting to have political power from we the people, and I've just stated, you have none. You traitors in Congress, and this actor wearing a mask, and this KH who's not even eligible to be a representative for us, shut up. No more talk of war or draft. And now we have this. So I've covered that. And, oh yeah, I wanted to bring this out. From Israeli News Live, Stephen Ben-Nun. Stephen was formerly with the CIA, now as a ministry, and regularly gets updates from the Pentagon. Brought out yesterday, Israeli News Live, that Bibi Netanyahu. Oh, did you know that all of the leaders of Israel were born in Ukraine? With one exception, that individual was born in Poland. Do you see a connection? All right. So what Bibi Netanyahu, who now is running Israel like a dictator, they passed a law or a resolution, something, that the IDF, that's the Israeli military, could shoot dead in their streets Israeli citizens who are protesting the war. So I guess if Bibi had been in charge here in the U.S., I guess he would have, trotted out the U.S. military to shoot dead the Orthodox Jews who were protesting in New York City in favor of Palestine. It's good to see what it is you see with your lying eyes and what you hear with your lying ears, to know what is truth and what is a lie. So now we have this burning platform. There is no U.S. support for war, nor for a draft. And as I've brought out, no one has the political authority in the top levels of the shadow U.S. government from we the people to do this. Okay, there's no U.S. support for a draft and no U.S. support for war. And now we'll talk about Gen Z. These are individuals who were born 1997 to 2012. 60%, and this is based on U.S. military information, they do not qualify to be in the U.S. military. And that's, educationally, ability to think. Most of them are overweight. U.S. military had actually put in some camps they were calling pre-training, and it was just to get American males and females into physical shape enough to take basic training. Yeah, Gen Z, 60% wouldn't even qualify for a basic training to be in the military. So I think we just need to remain steady, continue to pray. I'll have a short prayer. I do believe that within a month or so, we will have a steadier base for our economy. We will gain at least a path forward to have real individuals at the top levels of our federal government who the majority of the American people will support. It isn't JB, the actor in a mask. It isn't KH, who wasn't born an American citizen. And it isn't a majority of the people who are currently in Congress. So I believe that the future is bright for America. We, the American people, just need to remain steady, pray, and just keep saying what it is we will allow and what we will not allow. And now a short prayer. Once again and forever, may the skies of America be once again and forever clear and blue. May the land of America be once again and forever golden with grain and with gold. May the waters of America once again and forever be clear and cool, vibrant with life. May the pilgrims of America once again and forever enjoy and prosper in a nation of truth and justice. May the ecclesia of America once again and forever guide in all areas, including churches, schools, government, media, banking, and in our courts. May God once again and forever reign, guide, and prosper America, land of the free and the brave. And we say thank you, God the Father, God the Son, Jesus, who many call Yeshua, and God the Holy Spirit. It is a great time to prep. I definitely would prep and get some cash. So I say to my family and friends, remain steady, continue to pray. God is in charge and He is on the move. I love you, and I'll see you soon.